Is this better? Can you all hear me if I just talk? Normal?
No, you better put it on your phone.
Thanks, Mom, for that introduction. And by the way, every single time my mom calls and says, guess what movie I'm watching? You all know the answer. I'd like to thank Craig for this opportunity to share my story with all of you, and thank you for being here to support Beta Foster Care. My story begins with a vague memory of my childhood, living with my biological mom, Amy Wallace. I was found in an abandoned house at the age of 3, and I was taken to Orland. My mom left me there while she was out, and the police found me. I sort of remember her, and I know now that when I went to live with her at the Carrolls, a caseworker came from the county to take me to visit her. I have a picture of her and a letter that she wrote after her rights were terminated. And I was no longer in the foster care system. My adopted parents always talked about Mom and Amy, and they answered any questions that I had about her. On one visit to see her, my foster mom added, told me that Amy had tears in her eyes when she saw me. She said she loves you so much and she wants you to have the life that she can never give you. I held on to that story for a long time. I don't recall many events after moving in to the Carrolls, but I do remember I ran away a few times. Once was to a house down the street, and the other was to a park. Looking back, I think I did this because I felt like my biological family left me. So instead of rather taking another chance on a new family, leaving me first, I would leave them. My siblings include 2 older sisters and 1 older brother. The age difference was about 14 years from my oldest sister, Colleen, who was a senior in high school. I remember her driving me around in the car and letting me get away with things that my mom would have let me. Kathleen eventually followed to college and then moving to Seattle. Both girls got married and I was in their weddings. I never felt excluded, and actually I felt like any baby brother, rather spoiled. I felt really close to my dad, Tom. He represented the head of the family. He made me feel like our family was not defined by traditions, nationalities, geography, or skin color, but rather he made us feel like our family was defined by love, support, and core values. A distance built up when my dad left to take another job in another state. Then he and my mom got divorced, and I felt a little bit abandoned again. Eventually, I began to connect more with my brother. Then he went away to college, and I felt like my father figure left again. Looking back, I realized these are things that are part of any family life. My mother took over both roles at this point. She became my rock. I felt safe, accepted, and secure. She noticed that I had trouble in reading, and being the teacher, she made sure that I got all the help that I needed. Today, I still struggle with reading, but I have the tools to help me compensate in other ways. I was good at sports, football especially. This gave me a sense of pride and confidence. Part of this pride was that my mom, my oldest sister, and my brother came to watch me in every game, cheering me on. After high school, I got my AA at Orange Coast College, and I then joined another family, the Air Force. Here I learned more responsibilities, that mistakes help you to grow, and never leave a wingman behind. Since the Air Force, I am back now in school at Vanguard University. My goal is to graduate in 2018. I'm majoring in psychology, and I hope to work in the field that allows me to help with others, such as veterans or kids. I am also a substitute instructional assistant at Orange Coast Department, County of Education, where I work with severe disabled kids. And I think I get this gift from my mom when she works with special education. Do I ever wonder what could have been? Of course. It's just like the expression, the grass is always greener on the other side. But I choose to focus on how I evolved into this person I am today. Because the family chose to welcome me into their homes. I have never been able, and I would have never been able to get where I am today if the Carrolls did not open their home and give me a chance to be part of their family. We have a standing joke in this house. I was a gift without a receipt.
Wow.
No matter what, I could not be returned. But in reality, I was the one who received the gift. The experience of unconditional love, the lessons we've learned, and the opportunities to be a productive human being, and these gifts that I will always treasure. Today, I look back at the wonderful things that Beta Foster Care does for these kids. I look forward to giving back to someday and helping kids who deserve a chance to have happy, successful, and loved lives. Thanks again for allowing me to share my story, and because Mother's Day is around, happy Mother's Day. And thank you.